welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm Matt.
And I'm Sam.
And today we're looking at part 2 of our story, The Cowherd and the Weaver Girl.
Yes, and so what's interesting about this story is that it is really, really old. It is at least 2,000 years old. So it happened a long time ago, maybe even before it could be written down. It was just spoken and passed down and passed down and passed down. And actually, we see this story show up in many different cultures in Asia. But it's all a little bit different. And that makes a lot of sense because when you have a story that is that old and passed down in different languages in different parts of the world, they start to go through some changes.
That's right. So they have the same story in Japan, for example, but in Japan, both the Cowherd and Weaver Girl are gods. And they also have it in Korea, but in the Korean version, they are both just normal people. Neither one is a god or a fairy or someone that lives in the sky.
Yes, and so this is a very interesting kind of example of how you can see things getting passed down and things getting changed. And just, again, even just based on the languages, transferring it from one language to another, you could have misheard or mistranslated a word, and now, again, they become both gods or they become both humans or anything like that when you have these kinds of legends and stories. And sometimes they really do have a real person at the beginning of it, but after so many years of talking about them, that real person all of a sudden has magic powers or can ride on dragons or who knows what.
Has a talking ox.
Yes, or has a talking ox. So maybe these were real people at some point and the story has just gotten so different, but who knows? It's been way too long to be able to know exactly how this story started.
Okay, well, we've got more of this story to read, so let's get into part 2 of our story.
At the pond, Niulang heard voices. Soon he came face to face with some maidens. Most of them quickly grabbed their clothes and flew off. However, one stayed. She said,
I'm Jinnu. I weave beautiful scenes for my mother, the Queen Empress. I've seen you from the heavens. You're kind-hearted, hardworking, and a good soul.
All right, today we are looking at part 2 of our story, The Cowherd and the Weaver Girl. So last time we met our main character, the cowherd, Niulang, whose ox talked to him when he was feeling very lonely, and that ox told him to go to a nearby pond so that he could meet some maidens who would be there at the pond.
Yes, and so Niulang decided to believe the ox, and so he has gone there, and here is where our story picks up. And it says, at the pond, Niulang heard voices. Soon he came face to face with some maidens. So again, we see this word a lot. It basically just means like young women who are not married. And so they're there, they're hanging out in the pond. He hears the voices and all of a sudden he gets to see them and talk to them and be face to face with them.
Most of them quickly grabbed their clothes and flew off. However, one stayed. Okay, so most of them just quickly grabbed their clothes. To grab something means to take something quickly with your hands and take it away. So to grab your clothes would just be to pick up with your hands, but with a quick motion of taking them and closing your hands around something to take it away. So to grab their clothes means they were trying to get out of there quickly. They didn't want to stick around and meet Niulang.
Yes, they probably got a little bit startled because they thought they were all by themselves and all of a sudden this person showed up. So a lot of them got their clothes and got out of there, but one of them stayed. And after we go to Tina, we'll see what does she do.
Hi, I'm Tina. 我们今天继续来看看牛郎跟织女的故事。在池塘边，牛郎听见了说话声。不久，他与几个仙女迎面相遇。 他们大多迅速抓起衣裳飞走了，然而有一位待在原地。我们来看看单字 grab， 动词，匆忙的拿取。David grabbed his phone and ran outside. David 抓起手机就跑出门。文法的部分刚刚提到了 face to face， 面对面，这是一个副词片语。比如说 They talked face to face after the argument. 他们在争吵后面对面谈了一次。Argument 就是争吵、争论。Fly off， 飞走，这是一个不及物的片语动词。Fly 指的是飞，它的三态是 fly, flew, flown。比如说 When the dog barked, the birds flew off. 狗一叫，那些鸟就飞走了。接着我们回到课文当中。
All right, so we are getting back to our story. We have one maiden left, and it says that she said, I'm Zhinu. I weave beautiful scenes for my mother, the Queen Empress. Okay, so we have one maiden left, and she is a beautiful weaver. She is weaving beautiful scenes for her mother. So what is a scene? Well, this just means that whatever she is weaving, like a blanket or whatever, or even clothes or anything like that, the thing that she is weaving will have a scene on it. Maybe it's a mountain scene. So she weaves beautiful mountains and different colors into it. Or maybe it is a river scene or a beach scene. Or maybe she's weaving people and they're getting married and it's a wedding scene. So whatever this beautiful picture is, that is called the scene that she is putting into her weaving.
Mm-hmm. So Zinu continues, I've seen you from the heavens. You're kind-hearted, hardworking, and a good soul. Okay, so she describes him as hardworking. Now, hardworking is an adjective that means someone, well, they work hard. Someone does their job well and puts a lot of their energy into doing the job that they're supposed to do. So you can also have like a hardworking student who always does their homework and always writes everything very neatly and nicely in class.
Yes, and then she also says you are a good soul. So this word soul, it usually just refers to kind of the spiritual essence of a person. So the kind of what makes you you. But here, when she uses it in this sentence, it says, you are a good soul, it kind of means, yes, you could say you have a good soul, you have a kind soul, something like that. But a lot of times when we say it in that way, it just basically means you are a good person. You are a good soul, you are a good person. She thinks that he is a very kind of honest, true, good person.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's check in with Tina.
织女说：“我是织女，我为我的母亲王母娘娘编织美丽的景象。我在天上看过你，你心地善良，勤奋，是个好人。”我们来看看单字 scene 名词，景象、景色。We enjoyed the scene from the window. 我们欣赏窗外的景色。Hardworking 形容词，勤奋的、努力的。Sarah is a hardworking student. Sarah 是一个勤奋的学生。Soul 名词，某种人。Cindy is a kind soul. Cindy 是个善良的人。接着我们回到课文当中。
All right, so we kind of have the beginning of maybe a friendship, just like the ox said. So again, we have牛郎, he is talking to this maiden, and who knows, maybe it will kind of go somewhere. So let's go ahead and go to the second part of the story, and we'll be right back.
Niulang and Zenu hit it off. They agreed to marry and were happy together. That didn't last long, though. The Queen Empress found Zenu and had her guards bring her back.
Okay, so let's continue with the story. Niulang and Zinu hit it off. They agreed to marry and were happy together. All right, so they've hit it off. Now, this might sound like a strange expression, but when some people hit it off, or two people hit it off, it means they quickly become friends or quickly become close together. They get along very well, and it happens very quickly. So often you might go to a party and find someone who has the same interests as you, someone who loves the same baseball team as you. And when you start talking, you'll hit it off because you find you have lots to talk about with each other.
Yes, and normally this phrase is for like romantic feelings. So usually it's like they hit it off and maybe are going to move into dating, but not always. It also can be just totally with friend groups. It's like, oh, I tried to make some new friends and we didn't really hit it off. It's like, oh, we didn't really have the same interests, so that friendship didn't really work. So again, a lot of times for romance, but not always. Can also just be to get along with whoever. All right, continuing on, it says, that didn't last long, though. The Queen Empress found Zhinu and had her guards bring her back. So the Queen Empress is not very happy that she has decided that Zhinu has decided to marry Niulang and that they are staying down on Earth. So she tells her guards to go and get her and take her back up to heaven, which probably doesn't make everybody very happy.
I guess not, especially not Niulang, who was lonely before, and now maybe he'll be lonely again. All right, well, let's go to Tina.
牛郎和织女相处融洽，两人决定结为夫妻，过着幸福的生活。然而好景不长，王母娘娘找到了织女，并命令侍卫将她带回去。这里有一个文法重点 ，hit it off， 相处融洽，一拍即合，意思相近于 get along well。比如说 ，They met yesterday and already hit it off。他们昨天才认识，就一拍即合。接着我们回到课文当中。
Okay, so we're kind of at a turning point in our story. Just when things looked really good for Niulang and he had finally made a friend, or even more, he found somebody to marry and he seems like he's going to have a very happy life. Well, just at that point, his wife is being taken back up into the heavens. So what's going to happen?
Well, he's going to be alone again, I guess, unless he still has his ox friend, well, who he's ignored, I guess, for this time. He said his ox was his best friend before, or his only friend, so I guess it was his best friend. So I hope he's kept the ox around because he's going to be lonely again, I think. All right, let's review this story again, but we've got more for part 3, and we'll see you for that tomorrow.
At the pond, Niulang heard voices. Soon he came face to face with some maidens. Most of them quickly grabbed their clothes and flew off. However, one stayed. She said,
I'm Jinnu. I weave beautiful scenes for my mother, the Queen Empress. I've seen you from the heavens. You're kind-hearted, hardworking, and a good soul.
Niulang and Zhinu hit it off. They agreed to marry and were happy together. That didn't last long, though. The Queen Empress found Zhinu and had her guards bring her back.
最后我们来复习今天课文里的单字文法。单字的部分 grab 动词，匆忙的拿取。scene 名词，景象景色。hardworking 形容词，勤奋的努力的。soul 名词，某种人。文法的部分我们学到了 face to face 面对面。Do you want to sit face to face or side by side？ 你想要面对面坐还是并排坐？ Fly off 飞走。The birds flew off when the boy ran toward them。 当男孩跑向那些鸟时，他们就飞走了。Hit it off 相处融洽，一拍即合。Jack and Jill hit it off on their first date. Jack 和 Jill 第一次约会就很投缘。以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法，我们下一课再见，拜拜。
Hey, 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 it's Kiwi on the street. I'm Kiki.
And I'm Winnie.
Today, we are going to taste some cilantro-flavored snacks.
But we don't know what it is.
Ooh.
I'm sure you know what this is. These are pea crackers, but usually I don't have cilantro pork ball soup flavor.
Well, let's just try it.
Okay, do it. You go first.
It smells very herby.
It does. 1, 2, 3. I taste orange, which doesn't make sense. So I wouldn't say this is very strong in a cilantro flavor.
The only thing is the smell. It smells herby, and that's it.
That's it. Let's start with something we're familiar with, which is your average potato snack. Okay. I usually have just the salt flavor, so this will be an interesting one.
Okay.
Cheers. It tastes really fragrant.
Oh, yes.
I kind of like. This kind of tastes like real cilantro. It doesn't taste fake.
You know, I think this could have the potential to be addictive.
Okay, okay. Dun da da dun. We have cilantro flavored instant noodles. So,
Oh my goodness.
okay, that looks like a meadow. Okay, I just flipped the noodle and a waft of cilantro seasoning it smells so strong. I like it a lot.
You do?
It has the astringent taste because sometimes cilantro can be really bitter. It doesn't have an earthy taste at all, which sometimes it kind of can taste like mud. Would you eat this again?
No.
I would eat this again.
I would eat this again.
But I'm so glad that we got to taste all these different types of cilantro.
Winnie, I don't have any.
Now, do I?
No. Well, today I'm glad we started off with some, I would say pretty normal, it's not too adventurous, just some snacks with cilantro flavorings. But next time we are going to level up and try some other interesting cilantro flavored foods.
I mean, okay, bring it on. I'm not scared. But that is all we have for today. Remember to follow us on Instagram and send us a DM or an email if there's something you want to say in English, but you just don't know how.
Kiwi later.